And Global Affairs Analyst Ejike Okpa joins me on the news from Texas via Skype to discuss this topic. Good to have you join us, Ejike Okpa. Now, we know that this the WTO office is quite, it's not a decision-making office. It really doesn't have that authority to make decisions. So how can Africa, especially Nigeria, benefit from this office? If you can hear me, Ejike Okpa, my question is, that office, which is the Director General of the WTO, doesn't have the authority to unilaterally make decisions. What do Africa really stand to benefit?
Thank you for having me on your show. As I have said previously, it's yet to be understood how Africa is going to benefit, except Africa starts to work on their own internal affairs and issues in order to, have something the world want to trade with them with. Happy to see that Madam Okonjo-Iweala is in Nigeria visiting. At least, that's a courtesy visit. The other issue is how prepared is Nigeria to trade with the world, and apart from oil and some other things. I mean, what is Nigeria? Are we manufacturing goods? Are we doing fabrics? Are we doing technology or health? What are we exporting? What are we expecting? So it's yet to be seen what the benefits are going to be. I read in the news that she said she's coming in to tell Nigeria how to improve on the economy. That's interesting. But when she was Minister for Finance as well as the economy, what was it that she missed? Is she not coming back and say, okay, now remember what to tell them? So this is all part of the media gimmick, to make Nigerians have undue expectations.
If I may just jump in there, because while she was Minister of Finance and I think economy in general, she was largely commended for the role she played in pulling Nigeria out of debt. But right now, she's coming on the heels of the conversation around driving funding for COVID-19 vaccines, as well as the AfCFTA agreement among African countries. Now, just beyond her, what kind of conversation do you expect among the ministerial committees in Nigeria and around Africa in terms of pulling our acts together as a continent so that we can stand favorably?
Well, again, I think there's audio challenges here. But, if I understand your question, you're talking about she pulled Nigeria out of, debt during the time. She did not pull Nigeria out of debt, because if you look at the result of the debt forgiveness.
Sorry, just to quickly jump in, that wasn't really my question. My question is the fact that now we're talking about driving funding for COVID-19. And my question is, what can African countries do to ensure that we pull our acts together and leverage this opportunity to stand favorably?
Well, I mean, what's got to be is the African government. Nigeria started with Nigeria. We have to get serious about the issues that are domestic to Nigeria. I mean, the COVID vaccination situation. I mean, are we making it? We're not making it. We're looking to buy it from whomever is going to sell it to us. And when we get it, how is it being distributed? So these are the things we have to do. I think it's an undue expectation when we see a Nigerian in some of these positions. We all of a sudden we start to think that things are going to magically improve. No. Because a Nigerian is head of a certain organization does not translate to collateral value for the country. The country has to be ready in order for the world to embrace it. And Nigeria, so far, in 22 years of democracy, we have not. The Naira has fallen in value from 1999 to date. In 1999, 1 million Naira was almost $12,000. 22 years of democracy, 1 million Naira is only 2,250 a dollar. So how is anybody going to feel that an improvement has been made? Naira should have at least maintained the value it had prior to the democracy. So Ngozi, I congratulate her. I'm happy for what she's doing, but she has no magic wand until the Nigerian government, the way Nigeria manages its resources, become a collateral aspect of the leadership. So that this is what we got to do. in order for the world to give us the respect. So the COVID situation, I'm in Dallas. We having issues on how to do it. I'm involved in creating, centers, for COVID vaccination. Then we are even making it. But how about countries that don't make it? So how is Africa, the West African region or the 54 African nations coming together and say, okay, we have to have our scientists, we have to fund the research.
And I basically agree with you on the fact that, look, this is not going to be automatic. She is the DG of the World Trade Organization, not the African Trade Organization. She's also responsible to all countries around the world. But what sort of advisory role can she play then in terms of, Nigeria has been borrowing from several countries and even the IMF. What sort of advisory role can she play now, especially when advising Nigeria in terms of borrowing, manufacturing, the economy?
Well, again, your questions are coming in chopped up, but her role as WTO, if you look at WTO, is not even, it's not at the level of the World Bank or that level of IMF. So this is about trade. And how do you trade? Countries have to have things to trade amongst themselves, and then they will come up with an agreement. The WTO, again, will not tell any particular country, you have to trade with this country. You have to have something to trade with before people show up to buy. And then when they show up to buy, then the agreement, how you sell it to them, becomes part of, the efforts to trade. So right now, I don't see what she's doing. Advice is fine. Anybody can give advice, but you have to give advice that is relevant. I'm saying, what is she going to tell Nigeria? She's meeting with Buhari. She's meeting with the central bank governor. What is she going to tell them to do in order to stabilize the Naira? The Naira, falling situation is what has made it very difficult for Nigeria to participate because the purchasing power is not there. Oil as a revenue for Nigeria is still about 70-80% of the federal government revenue. By now, we should have flipped it to where oil is maybe 25%, and the Nigerian internal resources produces 70% for the federal government to use. So the over-dependent on oil since the 70s has undermined Nigeria. Right. And Ngozi is not being truthful. She's, basically, selling her influence and her position. But Nigerians have to get serious about restructuring that economy and opening it up. Right. Nigeria is a very shallow economy. Apart from Lagos and Abuja, Kaduna, some other, most of the states are not financially stable.
I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. In the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months, we'll see whatever role, whatever advisory that she can play and how Nigeria government responds to all of those advice. A Global Affairs Analyst, Ejike Okpa, thanks for talking to us as always.
Thank you.